Hello ladies and gentlemen and TV show lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host Brett Murphy, and for today's video I have a brand new episode ranking for you all. And I am going to be ranking all 9 episodes of Stranger Things Season 4. And just as an extra added little bonus, I'm going to be giving a short and sweet little series review at the end with a final score for all 9 episodes. Because if you've been following my channel since the release of Stranger Things Season 4, you will likely have noticed that I did 2 separate reviews. One for Volume 1 containing episodes 1 to 7, and 2 for Volume 2 containing both episodes 8 and 9. So I will just be giving a very short and sweet little spiel at the end with my thoughts on the season as a whole. So yeah, I've pretty much already explained it all. Stranger Things 4, or Season 4, however you refer to it as, has officially concluded. We now have the full story after a 3-year wait. So in typical fashion for me and this channel, here is my episode ranking in a mini-series review. I would also like to issue right here, right now, a major spoiler warning. I just see no way of being able to talk about these episodes in any sort of depth without containing spoilers. If you have not watched any of the episodes of Stranger Things Season 4, there will be spoilers in here, so you have been warned. Before I hop into the actual ranking and review itself, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my series-based reviews and rankings and all that jazz. So be sure to check that out, and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so without further ado, let's hop right into things. Number 9. Episode 2, VECNA'S Curse. Despite being in last place, I really don't think there's a bad episode in this entire season. This one just so happens to be the weakest of the bunch. We do, however, get our start by finding out just how Hopper survived the ending of Season 3. From there, the investigation begins as the gang gets back together with the hopes of tracking down Eddie and proving his innocence, while also trying to figure out what really happened. Mike and Elle are finally reunited, but poor Will just ends up being the third wheel. And 11 smacking Angela in the face with a roller skate has to be one of the most satisfying things that this show has ever done. Meanwhile, Murray and Joyce end up re-teaming to try and follow a lead on Hopper. Number 8. Episode 3, The Monster and the Superhero. This episode in particular, I believe, plays into the show's comedic elements the best, but also does a really great job at setting up just where everything is headed. The Murray dinner scene will forever crack me up. Elle ends up getting taken by the cops for the whole Angela thing. Lucas has to navigate between his 2 friend groups, while Hopper has to navigate this desolate prison. Dr. Owens and Elle are now reunited, Nancy and Robin end up becoming a new favorite duo, and Max is chosen as VECNA'S next victim. A lot does get unraveled in this episode, but there is just so much mystery left. Number 7. Episode 6, The Dive. This one was actually a bit more of a mix than the previous 2 episodes. It has some of the season's best moments, but also some of its weakest. The curtain is finally pulled back on what Nina is, and we discover that we've actually been exploring Elle's memories. Susie finally makes an appearance, and we get this Disney Channel-esque little plan put together in order for our group to find out what they need. But then you also have the whole last meal scene with Hopper, along with Jason riling up all of Hawkins to go after the HELLFIRE Club and all of its members, where I must give major props to the actor for playing such a hateful and rage-inducing character. We also discover the upside-down gate under the lake and conclude with Steve getting pulled under. Number 6. Episode 5, The Nina Project. At this point in the season, there were a lot of moving parts, but thankfully in this episode, it seems like everyone and everything is moving forward. Here, we finally catch up with Elle and discover where Dr. Owens has taken her and that Dr. Brenner is actually alive, along with what Project Nina is, as Elle gets thrust into a new wave of experiments in order to try and get her powers back. We also get some truly fantastic stuff from David Harbour with Hopper in this episode. Murray's karate ends up being hilarious yet surprisingly effective. We discover the Creel house. Elle also ends up starting to get her powers back. And we get yet another violent and twisted death from the fellow basketball player, Patrick. Number 5. Episode 8, Papa. I did find this episode to be a bit tougher to place because a lot of it just feels like setup for that final episode. However, so much happens and there is just so much to unpack that I can't help but love it. Vecna uses Nancy to deliver a message to Elle, some touching moments between Joyce and Hopper, we find out that there are other secret experiments going on in this Russian prison, plus they finally break out from the Russian prison. Will's gut-wrenching and totally heartbreaking backseat speech to Mike. Dr. Brenner's true intentions get revealed, along with the military attacking the secret lab and Brenner dying for real this time, which is quickly followed by one of Elle's most badass moments yet. This one definitely succeeded in its mission to get us even more hyped for the finale. Number 4. Episode 1, The Hellfire Club. Okay, so maybe this placement comes from having to wait almost 3 full years to get to see this gang again. But I can hardly put into words just how happy I was to be back with this group and in this world. It kind of ends up just being your traditional catch-up episode, and I personally loved that. We get a dark and mysterious opening, and then we just get right to catching up with everyone, finding out where they've been and what they've been up to. Let's not forget we were also introduced to some brand new faces. And then we get hit with the surprisingly brutal and shocking death of Chrissy, which really sets the tone for this entire season. Number 3. Episode 7, The Massacre at Hawkins' Lab. This one is just a classic Stranger Things episode with an absolutely bonkers and mind-blowing ending. The gang comes to Steve's rescue inside the Upside Down, Joyce and Murray break into the prison, the Hawkins crew discovers how to communicate with the Upside Down crew through the light bright magic screen, as well as how to rescue them as they unravel more of the mystery, which also gives us that breathtaking transitions shot where everyone is biking. Vecna captures Nancy's mind in between that, and Elle discovering what happened that night of the titular massacre at Hawkins' lab, we get Vecna's backstory. Number 2. Episode 4, Dear Billy. Let's face it, this episode ends up here because of everything to do with Max. Especially the sequence with Vecna, where she makes her daring escape to Kate Bush's running up that hill. Sadie Sink really does give it her all in a truly moving performance. The rest is just the icing on the cake, like the military attacking the Byers residence, Nancy and Robin interviewing Victor Creel, played by the legendary Robert Englund, where we end up discovering what happened that night in the Creel home, Hopper's escape attempt, and then Joyce, Murray, and Dimitri being betrayed by Yori. Number 1. Episode 9, The Piggyback. A very, very long but oh so satisfying finale. So many insane, emotional, epic, crazy, and memorable moments. Eddie shredding on his guitar to Master of Puppets, and then his tragic, heartbreaking death. Everything with Max and Lucas, Elle facing off against Vecna, Hopper taking on the Demogorgon with a sword, everyone finally reuniting, and then it concludes by setting up for an absolutely massive 5th and final season. And so, there is my ranking of all 9 episodes of Season 4 of Stranger Things, folks. So now, if you'd like to listen, here is my brief little review on the season as a whole. In the end, this season was a mix of some very high highs, and I wouldn't say very low lows, but I would say that there are definitely some issues that need a little more ironing out before that 5th and final season. Chief among them is that episode length, because they are way too damn long. There is so much that I felt could have been chopped or cut out, or easily avoided, or simply shortened and tightened up. There was definitely a fair bit of bloat and filler, while also having some other things that could have been and probably should have been explored and explained a little bit more. However, going back to those high highs, this season has absolutely some of this series' best and most memorable moments. Emotional moments, epic moments, batshit crazy moments, jaw-dropping moments, all of it is present within this season. Once again, I'm just going short and sweet with this review because because I already did full-blown reviews separately for Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I don't really feel the need to repeat everything that I said there. At the end of it all, I loved this season despite my dislike for the longer episode lengths and a little bit of bloat, filler, and exposition heaviness. And so I am going to be giving Season 4 of Stranger Things a 9 out of 10. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my ranking and review. While you're at it, be sure to let me know how you would have ranked all 9 episodes of Season 4 of Stranger Things and what you would have given this season out of 10. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. And that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you. And while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.